When we're kids, most of us picture banks as giant physical fortresses. You hand your money to the teller, and they lock your specific pennies and dollars away in a little metal box inside a massive steel vault, waiting for you to return. The reality is much stranger. When you hand over your cash, it leaves the building almost immediately, transforming into a digital ghost that enters a massive financial machine. This system started centuries ago with early goldsmiths. People would leave their heavy gold coins with these smiths for safekeeping, but the smiths soon noticed a pattern. Hardly anyone ever came back to withdraw all their gold at the exact same time. Realizing they had all this idle wealth sitting around, the goldsmiths began lending most of it out to other people to earn interest, keeping only a tiny portion on hand for the few customers who might walk in that day. Today, we call this fractional reserve banking. Your deposits function as the base of an active, constantly shifting tower of balance. Imagine the banking system as a wooden block tower. The solid bottom layers represent the actual cash everyone deposits, the true reserve. Knowing you won't need all your cash today, banks pull blocks from the middle and stack them on top, funding new loans. This official document from the Bank of England explains a surprising rule. Whenever a bank makes a loan, it simultaneously creates a matching deposit. When the bank approves a loan, they don't hand the borrower a suitcase of physical cash. They just type numbers onto a screen, creating new digital money that didn't exist seconds before. The person who took out that loan immediately uses it. They might use those newly typed numbers to buy a home. The person who sold that house receives the payment and deposits that same money right back into a bank account. The bank then takes that new deposit, treats it as a fresh foundation, and pulls another block out to lend again. Through this cycle, commercial banks create most of the money in our economy. They generate profit by charging interest on all these new blocks, relying entirely on the hope that this increasingly tall tower stays standing. There is a risk to building up and up. The entire structure relies on borrowers at the top being able to pay the bank back. When borrowers fall in hard times and can't repay their loans, those upper blocks simply vanish. The loans become worth begins to wobble. Seeing the structure sway makes people nervous. If you think your bank might not have your money, your first instinct is to rush in and withdraw your cash before it's gone. If everyone rushes to the bank at once, you get a bank run. Because the bank only holds a small fraction of the total money in its literal vault, there aren't enough foundation blocks to go around. The modern economy operates on this shared belief. As long as we all trust the tower is stable, it works perfectly. But if that collective trust evaporates, gravity takes over and the structure collapses. The abstract blocks the bank pulls from your account represent actual physical things in the real world. A portion of your deposit goes towards steady, reliable investments, like lending money to the government through treasury bonds to fund public services. To make bigger profits, however, banks also take your blocks and place them in highly complex, risky bets on Wall Street, guessing which way the market will move next. Many of the largest blocks are placed into the fossil fuel industry. Without needing your approval, banks use customer deposits to finance the expansion of oil fields and pipelines, building the tower out of the very infrastructure that drives global warming. This smog is the physical byproduct of the projects these banks choose to fund. By using consumer capital to expand fossil fuel production, the bank's tower grows at the direct expense of the planet's health. We rely on this system to provide the credit that keeps society running, yet the same mechanism that allows you to buy a home is also the one that channels your savings into global crises. The numbers on your banking app represent a foundational block in a massive, morally complex tower.